All right. Dan, who needs to talk with that? May the blue spirit come through for everyone today. I just want to thank you. Dan, that was so awesome. I've got chills. The whole room is vibrating. Craig, that meditation was fabulous. I have not stepped out of my body in so long, and I saw all kinds of dust and stuff on my back that needed to be dusted off. Thank you. Maureen, there's so many great insights into healing there. I was helpful in so many ways. And Laura, hearing you in the center, it was night and day better. Just, so beautiful. So, good morning. Today, Pentecost and the higher self, a.k.a. Holy Spirit, a.k.a. Spirit of Truth. I just have to let you all know that this is way above my pay grade. But since I'm refusing pay, I'm going to go ahead anyway. Pentecost predates Christianity as one of the most important Jewish holidays. It marks 50 days since the first day of Passover. The Jews also call it Shavuot, the festival of 7 weeks. It celebrates the remembrance of God giving the Torah to Moses. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. It was transmitted to Moses in the desert at Mount Sinai 3,000 years ago. Shavuot is sometimes called Atzivet, which means completion. But before they could complete, the Jews had to become free from Egypt and free from idolatry. This freedom, or emptying, is a powerful metaphor. It tells us that in order to receive God's guidance, we must first free our minds, which are so full of stories that we cannot receive. So to hear God, or hear the Holy Spirit, or the higher self, or the Spirit of Truth, which I use these interchangeably. I apologize because many people have specific understandings of what those words mean. But part of what I'm asking you to do is to suspend that today and learn to negate those things which are not God. To fill the vessel which is filled by interpretations and preconceived ideas will contaminate what is coming in. It can be filled when it's not emptied, but it will just be diluted by what we think we already know. So to empty the mind is to enter the heart. And to enter the heart is to unplug and drain the mind. Because together, an empty mind and an open heart can receive truth. So the first Christian Pentecost was celebrated in Jerusalem in the year 33 at the Jewish Pentecost, which was also a festival celebrating the bringing in of the winter barley. All the living disciples, plus Mary and Jesus' brother James, or not Jesus, Jesus wasn't there, I'm sorry, Jesus had ascended. All the living disciples, Mary and Jesus' brother James, and many interested followers were devout Jews, and they were already there attending the festival. Jesus had just ascended to heaven after being crucified, resurrected, and appearing before various witnesses at least 19 times. Just before he left, he instructed the 11 remaining apostles, it is not these are just some of the instructions that he left that I wrote down, and these come from the Urantia book. The first one came from a recountance of the fall of Judas. It is not good to be alone for long periods. The rest is from the uplifting news, and it's called the good news. And the primary good news is that we are all children of the same God. Therefore, you must love everyone as you love God. Next, shortly after my departure, you will receive my Spirit, which is also my Father's Spirit, which is also my Father's Spirit. And since you are my Father's children, it is also your Spirit. So you will receive a remembrance of who you are, because you already could have heard from your Spirit, my Spirit, the Father's Spirit, but you didn't remember. You are to bring this remembrance out into the world. What a mistake to dream of God far off in the skies, when the Spirit of the universal Father lives within your own mind. God the Supreme is the personalization of all the universe experience, the personalization of the impersonal, reaching out. Do not be afraid of having a personal relationship with the divine, even if you believe that ultimately the divine is impersonal. The impersonal is eternal love, and eternal love would never leave you stranded. Some of the things that Urantia book says that you will experience when receiving guidance is you'll see things change in the world around you, and you will have experiences of some of these characteristics listed here. Loving service, unselfish devotion, courageous loyalty, sincere fairness, enlightened honesty. How many of us have experienced unenlightened honesty? Undying hope, confiding trust, merciful ministry, unfailing goodness, forgiving tolerance, and enduring peace. In other words, these will naturally pour out of you, and by practicing them, you will help align yourself to the Spirit that dwells within. Now, according to A Course in Miracles, the Holy Spirit was created by God, and in order to establish a communication link to his separated children. Its purpose is to help us rejoin the at-one-ment, called the atonement. It allows us to continue as individuated children of the One who are contributing with our unique gifts to the atonement. It does not threaten us with persecution or annihilation because we have identified as separate selves. It continually and gently shows us that we are not who we think we are. It's okay to ask the Holy Spirit to help you find parking places and what to wear today. because the obvious, the form, is irrelevant. What is relevant is the content, the love, the guidance, the connection. And by practicing asking for help with the details, we get better and better at listening to the guidance. Eventually, we may decide that we don't need to know what to wear today. But until we have made the connection and we really are firmly rooted in our connection, it's helpful. And as Lyriel pointed out in her talk last week, that helping others is a tremendous boost in receiving help yourself and being connected, and I believe in receiving guidance. So practice the details. It will help develop the skills, but it is not the end. Now, some of the Christian literature suggests that the Holy Spirit speaks in tongues. And there are many, many interpretations of what that means. I practiced this, especially with my friend Shakina. We used to, and we would know what he's saying. However, that's not what I think it means. Much of the iconography and descriptions, especially the Eastern interpretations of Pentecost, suggest that the Holy Spirit speaks to us in our own Babel. And if you recall the word Babel from the Tower of Babel, when the people were scattered into different tribes speaking different languages where no one knew what the other person was saying. What is implied is that the Holy Spirit will speak to us each in our own language, in our own head. Now, a great example of this is I experience all the time speaking to other English speakers about something I have an idea about and find that they don't know what I just said. And frequently have this experience in our Course in Miracles group where we have 8 people speaking English, all reading the same text, and everyone seems lost in their own interpretations. The gift of the Pentecost is a way around this problem. It establishes that the Holy Spirit will speak to you in your own Babel, that the Holy Spirit will not, however, speak to you in any way that helps you to attack yourself or anyone else. It allows you to bypass the Babel if you let the Holy Spirit translate for you. Now, an example that I practice when I remember it, and I'm listening to somebody say something and feeling my blood temperature rise, I ask for help, and the Holy Spirit sometimes translates, because I'm a slow learner, love, 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 and that's all I need to hear, because I don't have to understand the nuances. I don't have to understand exactly what it is that they're saying that's different than what I think. But you have to have patience in your heart. And you have to allow this to flow. And when you do, you will accept the fact that I've lost the last page. And I guess it doesn't much really matter, does it? Because the essence of what I'm saying is to trust and have faith and to know that we are being helped all the time in every way. Della's bringing over the last page. Oh, look, there it is. Thank you, Della. See, I'm being helped. We're all being helped. The fourth one was you must ask with patience, faith, and an open, honest heart. Most of us end up telling the Holy Spirit or God or whatever higher self that we speak to, telling it what we want and waiting for it to agree. I notice that the Holy Spirit seems to give me freebies. Even when I'm not doing it right and I'm impatient or angry, I get little glimpses that there's help out there, especially when I'm facing an auto accident or somebody really needs some help. Miracles seem to come in when those things happen. The Hebrews, after they were stranded in the desert, were ready for help because they'd given up everything. They'd been in slavery. They'd given up everything. And they were ready. They were hungry. And that's kind of the Old Testament. You know, you really have to suffer to get this. But again, I will just say that the New Testament and the good news reminds us that it's here, it's available all the time. All we have to do is ask. So, Jesus said that we could all hear his words through the voice of the Holy Spirit. I think that is why we have so many books written by Jesus these days, and so many channels. I used to believe that it wasn't really Jesus because they didn't all say the same thing. Now I'm beginning to see things differently. And that's my babble.